This is chapter 21 in Beyond Exile, near the Tibetan border. Frank and Gertrude were briefly in New Delhi, India, and decided to jump on a plane again and have arrived in Nepal. At the airport, we are observing the two, and we see, well, this is the first time it hasn't been a cab driver. We have a airport shuttle, a shuttle bus that goes downtown. So we take the shuttle, a little different, and that puts us into scene number 179, Kathmandu, Nepal. And from here we can go west to scene 180, the curiously named Tankha Museum. Inside the museum, we're looking at a painting. He doesn't know what lured him to Kathmandu until they visit the Tankha Museum and buy 3 beauties from the curator. Yes, that's... She says her sister's hiding one in a barn upriver. Classic blue-skinned demons and red dancing skulls. And when we speak some more, if he wants the old mandalas carried out by the Buddhist monks, her father's village is near the Tibetan border. Well, since Gertrude has money to earn, I think that's what it'll be doing. The Tibetan border. So we can go back out of the museum, and there's a Jeep. The Jeep is the only vehicle that will make it through the mountain passes. Right? Yeah, okay. Can we take this one? No, but Django, the driver, is there. Django is the driver of the Jeep. Let's speak to Django. So Frank persuades Gertrude to rent a Jeep and driver. So we have, we don't have to drive a Mercedes. We don't have that anymore. That's back in Germany. That's back in France, actually. Django will be chauffeuring in the Jeep, Frank and Gertrude, and they can start going north towards the Tibetan border. Which takes us to scene number 181, the hill tribe area of Dehunch, elevation 5,790 feet. They're enjoying the show, watching the sky open and close. We can keep going north. Scene 182, the steep climb to Sirabrubensi, 6,269 feet. Open and close with calm regularity above the Himalayan peaks until their rear axle breaks. Well, we can still go north. The mountainous terrain of Rasua Gari, 8,000 feet. They're boiling their water and eating dried fruit, discussing Goth's critique of Shakespeare. Well, I guess they're not too concerned with freezing to death. And there's the broken Jeep. When the driver suddenly splits. Well, maybe it's something to be concerned with now. So Django's gone. And these two are out in the middle of nowhere with the broken Jeep. Well, I guess it might be a good idea to start hiking south. So they go down south. It's a slow slog uphill and down, small ponds clouding the countryside. And go down again. Filled with offal and the orange crusts of disease, Gertrude's 15 minutes ahead. And Frank has, by himself here, he can go 4 different directions. When Frank falls on his face in the red dust, his fever attracts a cloud of black gnats. He's delirious. And there you see fallen Frank. Interestingly enough, every direction doesn't go anywhere. You're still stuck here. You look at fallen Frank, breathing fire in the promised painting, dancing on the deceptions of the world around the great circle, one more life. He's certain it's malaria or dysentery. He's certain he's dying. So we look at Frank, and hopefully... Gertrude's finally returned. Look at her. When he hears Gertrude hire a runner to get a doctor up from Kathmandu. Let's look at Frank again. He loses 15 pounds in 2 days. His flesh is falling off his bones. Not literally, I would hope. Dr. Wu character. When a thin mustache shows up with penicillin, you are Dr. Wu. All right, we're Dr. Wu. Let's look at his sick Frank. And that takes to scene 184, the Trishuli Bazaar Government Hospital. So the runner and the doctor and Gertrude have gotten Frank down back to Kathmandu and put him in the hospital. Let's look in the doctor's bag. And there's penicillin. Let's see if that is the cure in this case. We give penicillin to fallen Frank. And sure enough, it's 12 days of glucose, water, and gratitude. Yes, sometimes your song finds you. And Frank is sitting up here. He's watching a double rainbow frame the peaks. He's finally sitting up. He's finally sitting on top of the world. We don't need the doctor's bag anymore. So Frank is better now from that fall he took. And Frank and Gertrude are back together again. It appears that the journey to the Tibetan border was a failure. But we can still go west. And that takes us back to Kathmandu. And I guess Gertrude has decided to take care of Frank here and not chase that painting or the demon dogs or whatever that was that the curator spoke of. Because I think, yeah, there's no more interaction with them. So, I guess it's back on the airport shuttle, which takes us back to the airport. So Gertrude is not one to spend a whole lot of time on this trip. She wants to do a around the world as fast as she can, it would seem. So we're in scene 178 back at the airport. We see the travel agent. So where are we going now? To Gertrude. Where in the world, sweetie? And we can go Tokyo, Japan, Bangkok, Thailand, or Sydney, Australia. Not Tokyo. No, not Tokyo. How about Bangkok, Thailand? Oh, that would seem to have done it. Kathmandu. Bangkok, Thailand, scene number 185. The Suvarnabhumi Airport. And when we arrive here, we see a new chapter begins. So that is the end of chapter 21 near the Tibetan border. Unfortunately, we never made it there to the Tibetan border because of Frank's illness. That concludes chapter 21. We're going to pause the game right here and resume next time. Continue the adventure in Bangkok. I hope you're enjoying the story of Beyond Exile. Thank you for watching.